Let's jump into the Ask Me Anything because we have so many good questions, team-related, NFL-centric, and beyond that. The topic of the summer right now, Chris, and it's local for us, but it's also now national.
Yeah.
Running back salaries. The first one here from Nick Deepinphilis. Welcome back. Expand on the solution you have offered for the devaluation of running back salaries.
Yeah.
Did you have your own solution? I have a couple.
I do too.
I want to hear yours first.
Well, I've started back in my Bleacher Report days on this subject with Lefko, how this is unfair to running backs, and this has to change. And the thing I threw out over the last 2 years, and especially early on this offseason, is can they find a pool of money or whatever where, like, at the end of the year, there's a pool of money in the NFL, and it's part of the revenue bargaining agreement, and then they can go, incentive-based. So let's just say it's a second-year running back who was a third-round pick, and he's making, $700,000 a year. But he's the number 3 running back in football, right? Can they find a way to give these guys like a pool of money to go, wait, here's a $4 million bonus for your year because you were clearly one of the best players, and we have this. It doesn't count against the salary cap against the team or anything like that, right? So that was always one of my solutions to try to figure it out that way. All right, so there's my first one. Let's keep going. What do you got here?
So I came up with 3 last night.
Right.
I think that's the most effective way to reward performance,
right?
Because you have these guys that are second or third round picks, not making much money, that are going off for 1,300 yards. And that's a way that's not restricting anyone's cap, but it's also rewarding performance.
Right.
The 3 I came up with, the first one, you know how the NBA does like the mid-level exception or things
exactly.
like that?
I hear you.
For those that aren't basketball fans, basically the long story short of it is teams that are at the salary cap have a certain amount of money they can spend on one player. It's around like $12 million right now. It doesn't affect your cap. It doesn't affect the hard cap.
Right.
So my version of that NFL one is you would take 3% of the current salary cap. Every team gets a mid-level exception or something, their NFL version of it. It's 3% of the salary cap. So, for example, this offseason, that would have been $6.74 million. You can only use it on, right now, the running back position. I wonder if something like linebacker becomes really devalued, and that does not affect your salary cap at all.
Yeah.
I think that solves the longevity of the position where nobody cares about Ezekiel Elliott right now, Dalvin Cook, guys like that. When those guys get cut, I think they'd find homes easier. It might not reward Saquon Barkley's problem right now, but when you're 28 and teams are like, we're not paying you anymore, maybe they use that mid-level exception and it doesn't affect your cap because there's no risk. It's just owner cash.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So that's the longevity.
Yeah.
Here's ones that'll help the other guys. Number 2, end rookie contracts early, but if the team has a team option that's inflated, so say running back contracts are now only 3 years long, you can keep the guy the 4th year, but the inflation is double the salary. So they're making like $16 million if you want to keep him. If not, he's got to walk to free agency when he's 24 years old.
I like that. There's something along that one that I really do like because 3 years and they can become a free agent.
Yep.
Or I brought up even the and I want to hear your third one here in a second. I even brought up today an NFL running back should maybe be able to call for their free agency anytime in their rookie contract. And then the team gets a right to match whatever offer they get. Right?
Restricted.
So let's say you draft Saquon Barkley with the second pick of the draft. He has a good first year. Second year, he leads the NFL in rushing and goes, wait, it's time for me to be paid. And we all go, yes, it is. You're definitely one of the best players in football, right? Now, okay, he can go to the team and the league and go, I'm going to classify myself as a running back free agent this year. And he can open himself up to the market. And then the Giants have the last right of refusal to match that offer or whatever. I would love to see something done like that.
I like that a lot.
It's along the lines of what you're talking about a little bit there.
The last one I have is if you want to franchise tag a running back, it has to be a 2-year commitment. It has to be both franchise tags. All the money's guaranteed. The Packers kind of did that with Aaron Jones.
They did. You're exactly right.
Which was great for Aaron Jones and great for Green Bay because Aaron Jones is a great player. Who cares? But if you want to franchise tag a running back, so for instance, for Saquon, it would double his franchise tag number. He's there for 2 years. They might not still like that, but that's a lot of money guaranteed in a 2-year window.
Definitely. $26 million or $20 million, whatever. Yes. That's
2 years?
Yes, you're right. I mean, that's all. At the end of the day, that's all that these guys want. They just want a little long-term security. Right. They know they're not going to get 5 years guaranteed, but they want 2 or 3 years guaranteed. And this is where, hey, Saquon Barkley, he's one. Ezekiel Elliott, it's over. He's a car crash runner. It's over. I get it. Saquon Barkley is a guy that's not a car crash runner, and he's a freaky, freaky athlete. And I would be shocked if he fell off earth here in the next 2 to 3 years. I think he's still got a good 2 to 3 years left in him of being special, right? So this is a deep conversation. It really is. But, I don't know how this gets fixed. I like some of our ideas we're throwing out there. I don't know if the NFL or, the NFLPA will adopt some of these. I would like the players understand what the running backs are going through. I explained this to Florio today, right? The players are not going to be mad at Saquon Barkley. They're not, because they understand. First off, they're all going, wait, the freakiest guy on our team is making $10 million. The guy who could fight Dexter Lawrence in the middle of the locker room right now, and we'd go, damn, this is a good fight. I mean, Saquon's hanging in there with him and or Leonard Williams or whatever. And he's a running back. Like, running backs are freaky as hell. And then he can go out on the grass and go, well, damn, he's the fastest guy on our team in a race. Whoa, he's racing Jair Alexander here today, and he's hanging in there. Whoa, holy, that's what a running back is. So the players are sensitive to what the running backs are going through here. Everybody on the Raiders knows Josh Jacobs is one of the freakiest guys on their team. So they're not going to be mad at him here for going, wait, we got guys that are not even as freaky at him in other positions. They're making twice as much money as him. So that's where they have a little, but I don't know. Their leverage is limited.
That's the problem.
And I think we have to unpack this a little bit, because people go, well, how did this happen and what happened and all of that, right? Florio brought up a great point today between analytics and Mike Shanahan. That started the devaluation of the running back. And I would say that's probably pretty true, right? And offenses have expanded, right? They've gotten better, right? So you don't have to necessarily go, oh, here Earl Campbell, here Walter Payton, here Emmitt Smith. So, those are great ways to get yards, but offenses have become so much more creative where they go, well, okay, I wish I had Emmitt Smith, but okay, I'll figure out a way to throw the ball 4 yards to the slot receiver here. We'll run a speed sweep with this guy. We'll put Deebo Samuel a tailback for a play. So there's ways, there's a screen here to this guy. There's ways to make up for the lack of traditional running game in the league right now. That's what's devalued the position. The owners this is not collusion. They're not going, let's not pay the running backs. They're not even a part of this. This is a GM coaches thing here. And it's part of the business, unfortunately. The supply outweighs the demand at the position. You got guys like Austin Eckler who want more money, but Austin Eckler, you're also the prime example of why you don't pay more money. You're a 6th-round pick, right? Was he or undrafted? Right. So that's why, And then here's another one for you, just so we're on this. See if you like this. Here's another thing. I mean, you look at the top 10 rushing teams in football last year, right? The Bears, who was their star running back?
I mean, they bounced through a lot of guys.
All right. And they have a running back who's a quarterback. So the quarterback's another way that you can run the ball now.
Right.
Right? You don't have to have the running back. So here's the Bears at number 1. The Ravens, stable of running backs the whole year.
2 teams, full committees.
Right. Full committees. The Falcons are 3 in rushing. Tyson Algier, a mid-round running back.
5th round.
There you go. So they're 3 in football. The Giants, okay, they got Saquon. All right, that's cool. The Eagles, they were doing it with the quarterback and a stable of running backs.
And they're doing it again.
They're doing it again. Okay. The Browns have a stud, so we give them that at number 7. 6. The Bills at number 7. Josh Allen's their best.
He runs the
ball. And they're the
for them.
7th rushing team in football. So there you have that. You have the 49ers, who are always in the top. This year they finally have Christian McCaffrey, but they've had a different leading rusher for the last 5 years in a row, right? The Dallas Cowboys went with Tony Pollard, who they drafted as a slot receiver, maybe a running back, right? So you got him. The Carolina Panthers, no marquee running back. The Detroit Lions,
traded McCaffrey
no
in the
marquee
season.
running back. So there you go. The Washington Commanders are next on that list. No marquee running back. So that's the reason the state of the position is the way it is, and it's a tough one. Running backs are going to have to play hardball. Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, come to training camp. Get your dollars. $10 million ain't out there all the time. Get it. Guys aren't going to be mad at you if you don't put yourself on the line. If I'm Saquon Barkley, you report, you get that money, you don't take a year off. I love Saquon Barkley.
I don't think he will.
You can't.
Right.
You're going to lose your explosiveness and speed and your ability to be as good at your craft as you are, just like we saw with Le'Veon Bell. He took a year off. He was never the same. Never. He was not the same human being. So that's where I would say don't do that, let alone don't leave $10 million out there that you'll never make up again. I don't care what you do. You're not going to make it up, right? And what I would start to do if I'm Saquon Barkley, and listen, the Xavier McKinney came out and said, we understand what Saquon's going through. We're not mad at him. He's got to go around. He's got to tell the team, I'm putting myself on a pitch count. I'm just sorry. So when Brian Daboll wants to look over in week 4 and go, hey, Saquon, he's got to look over at Brian Daboll and go, hey, 20 carries today. I'm done for the day. I'm done. Sorry. You should have paid me more. Sorry. And that to me is the best leverage they have. Or, oh, damn, my shoulder is tight today. Man, that 15th carry got me. Damn, my shoulder's tight. I'm sorry. It's hardball. It's big boy business.
That's life.
That might be what you have to do here. They don't have many ways to use their leverage against these teams right now.
And I think the thing they do have is they don't have to come back until week 1. They start missing the game checks because they didn't sign the franchise tender. But
I don't want that either.
Isn't that problematic?
Yeah.
You're not going to be yourself in September.
Exactly. I mean,
no shot.
Every now and then we see a freak of nature who can overcome that.
Yeah,
all right.
Aaron Peterson,
Donald did it one year, right? Where you're just like, man, he didn't even come to training camp. He just came on the field and was the best player in the game, right? But no, to your point, I think you're exactly right. Like Saquon, Josh Jacobs, get there, sign that thing, get that money, be there, get in shape, be your best self. And if you got to start putting yourself on a pitch count or go, nah, I ran up the middle already 10 times on 2nd and 1 today. Put the other guy in. Then so be it and do it. Because I don't think they're going to get like side-eye looks from the locker room. I think the locker room is very understanding of what's going on with the running backs right now.
The last question on this was a little bit of a similar conversation we had from Meowsers. What do y'all think about making a rule for teams to be allowed to go over the salary cap just for signing the running back position?
Yeah.
Basically, if signing a running back would have made you exceed the hard cap, now it doesn't. I like that, but it is difficult to pull off. Right now, running back salaries aren't in the salary cap, or is there a limit on them, or
is it like something like you're saying, where it's like
a percentage?
He's got a $10 million contract,
right?
But it's really only $5 million counts against the cap at the position.
That's a good one. Maybe 50% of the contract
something
actually
like
counts to the cap,
right.
And then you can reward guys as just owner's cash. It has nothing to do with the salary cap,
right?
That would solve a lot of the issues as well.
So I know
it's so unique though, because. And everyone listening to this is smart enough football fan that knows the CBA is written how it is, and they don't step away. No, neither side steps away from how the CBA is written. The league doesn't. Teams will never give up the franchise tag.
No, well, just like Florio said this to me today, and he made a great point. The players and the NFLPA could go to the league right now and try to change this, but the league's going to go, well, what are you going to do for us? Because I mean,
that's how they are
every
time.
Owner and everyone else is going to go, wait, you're taking money from us, but what are we getting back for it? And that's where it can become an issue. But yeah, this is going to be something that goes on for a while. I don't know if there's a clear fix right now. They're not. And just like we just said, it's just there's ways to skirt the running back thing. And you get into it's a passing league. We know that. And the team that's been in the 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls, the Chiefs, they had 3 different running backs in all of those. The team that has dominated the century, I mean, it was a stable of running backs every year. They were in the Super Bowl for 20 years straight, the freaking Patriots, right? Basically. And it was, who were their running backs? I don't know. There's like 20 of them.
Lawrence Maroney.
Right.
I mean, we can go on here. James White
Corey
was
Dillon,
in there.
James White, Kevin Falk.
Yep.
Deion Lewis. I mean, we can just keep going. I mean, so that's why teams have adopted this new way of thinking. Like we said, supply has outweighed the demand at the position a little bit. Yo, thanks for watching, homies. It's the off season, but there's no off season for us here at Unbuttoned. Me, Ahmed Fareed, we're going to hit all the stories. So hit subscribe for us, okay? We got a ton coming up. My draft prospect rankings, my Simms top 40 quarterback countdown, and videos of me and NFL QBs playing catch and talking about their development and mechanics. Again, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out, homies. See you soon.